Hey everybody, so I'm driving to the new Jacksonville Tesla Service Center at 650 Best Boulevard, kind of out Atlantic Boulevard, and I'm going to record the whole drive, and we are going to see how many interventions or disengagements we get all the way to the new Tesla Service Center. So I just put a Twitter poll up also. You're not, of course, going to see this video until after the poll is over, but I thought I'd have a little bit of fun and record the drive and maybe even ask a few folks how many interventions or disengagements they think I'm going to have. So let's see where we start. Right here is an unprotected right-hand turn. It needs to kind of wait there. Ooh, I'm glad it waited. That's good. So this is another intersection under Roosevelt, different than my unprotected left. There's a small gap here. I would go for that, and it needs to go. And a car was rapidly coming up behind me. So that was an unsuccessful one in my mind, and mostly because of this car that I'm not even gonna be able to make eye contact with right there. That was rapidly coming up behind me. So see, and they just kind of making the statement by merging back in front of me. So that was, didn't disengage, didn't intervene, but just saying that it needed more boost there. So it's almost like it couldn't calculate the trajectory that car had behind me. And as I'm sitting here going the speed limit on this beta profile, you can see the cars go around me pretty quickly. But I'm gonna let it ride unless I have to intervene or disengage, just for the benefit of the recording. I had a drive yesterday, and it was out to the airport. So it was this segment here, join 95 and I-10, and about 25 minutes, same length as this drive, and I only had one scroll wheel intervention for speed, almost like I kind of would do right now to speed up just a little bit, because I feel like I'm going too slow in traffic. But not being on the interstate, I'm okay going the speed limit here. And on the return ride, I was picking up Katie, my wife, and I had it engaged, and she typically has not really liked it when I had FSDBeta engaged, and she made a comment that about halfway home that she didn't even realize that I wasn't driving. So we all kind of like to joke about when will we know that it's getting really good, and well, you know, and the wife test or the spouse test is a common one people like to talk about, you know, crossing the threshold. Now, that being said, this argument about when will FSD, you know, how much is it improving, I continue to say, and I truly believe this, that the middle of the drive, like what I'm in right now, is getting really good. To the airport and back is kind of the middle of the drive part, you know. It's the entering onto the highway. You could argue that unprotected right-hand turn was probably not done correctly. It should have accelerated more in front of the traffic that was going much faster. Yellow light that it's continuing through just fine, and turned red right above me, so that was a good decision. Didn't even tap the brake there. But you know, we don't have parking lots, we don't have some functions like U-turns, and unprotected left-hand turns are really good, but I don't know that they're good enough for me to sit in the back seat with yet. Yesterday I had one that was very confusing. It actually stopped in the middle of traffic after crossing the median. If you hadn't seen those unprotected lefts I did yesterday, they were all really good except for one. And that one was not good in a way that I had never seen before. So I think that, you know, once we continue to work on some of these functions at the beginning and the end, you know, turning it on in the middle of a drive, you know, it's getting really solid. But, you know, we can't make an autonomous fleet out of the middle of the drive. We've got to solve it all. So just to get there, you know, we got to have a few more functions. All right, on this drive on the way out here, I'm probably not going to talk the whole 25 minutes because I don't know that you all want to watch another 25-minute video. So I'll speed up sections where perhaps nothing's going on, and then if I do intervene or disengage, of course, I'll slow it down and we'll talk about it. Okay, as we come up this on-ramp, I'm just going to kind of introduce what we're getting ready to do. We're getting ready to join Interstate I-10. that's kind of redundant saying that way, but Interstate 10, and there's a merge with Interstate 95 coming up. And this junction right here, it's worked pretty good, but there have been some speed issues with regards to the speed of traffic flow and being safe in merging speeds. You know, I don't know if it's map data or if it's actually the speed limit, but it's just not a safe speed limit to go while you're merging into traffic. You know, you can see cars going around me on both sides now. But anyway, just let's pay attention to the speeds. This is where I did have to scroll the speed wheel up yesterday on the way to the airport. I'll do my best to not do that, just to see if it'll get us there safely, but it'll all just depend on the traffic. All right, I can feel it tugging, slowing down, all the way down to 43 here in order to, I think, get behind that car to do this lane change. So, just feel the cars going around me. I know you don't get a sense of it, but every bone in my body says we should be speeding up, and now it can't do this. Okay, there's one intervention. It slowed all the way down to in the 30s, so I don't know why it did that. Maybe it wanted to get over there and it couldn't figure out how. So you saw the deceleration on there. My foot is off the accelerator now. It continued to decelerate on the interstate. There were cars coming up behind me and it just wasn't safe to let that go. All right, one intervention. See this speed limit here? I'm confused by that. It does now have a posted speed limit of 35. That's ridiculous, but it is allowing me to stay at 50. Look at the cars here going around me. This is really not the speed we should be going here. I'm just gonna see how these cars handle it. I didn't get any honks yet. It's going too slow. Now I got a speed limit of 45, but it's staying at 50. And that is not an override. I do not have an override for this profile. 0.2 miles, we're merging here. Still has the speed limit of 45 there. And now I'm actually on Interstate 95. The speed limit should be much, much faster than this. And just as an example, I'm getting passed by a city bus on the right. All right, it's going to be exiting here, and we're going to be going through downtown Jacksonville. So we'll at least be finished with this portion of the highway mode where the speed, to me, feels incorrect. I'm assessing the situation, and it's you know, it wasn't the best scenario. I probably could have intervened with the scroll wheel a little bit more to give it a little bit more speed. All right, so this section of Jacksonville, now it's Sunday, so it's not a busy day here. It's got these lights that are sequenced pretty well, but they also can be adjusted dramatically during professional American football events. So I do think that this road in and of itself is an interesting road to really experiment with the dynamic nature of roads. And how cities can reconfigure them for events. I've done one video on this in the past. Now, watch this. We just went through one yellow light. More than likely, we're going to hit a sequence of yellow lights. There's the second one. So it's either going to catch up to us or one of these is going to stop us. We are just running every single yellow light. This clip in and of itself is interesting because one of these is going to stop. Okay, there we go. We're running a little bit further and further behind the sequence the whole way, but finally it caught up with us. So this is a 4-lane one-way street. Jacksonville in this part of town. You can see here on the map, it's got one way going two different directions. So like many cities, you know, you got to go around the block to go the other direction. Now here I am in a situation where I'm going 35 on a road that's going much faster. It is the posted speed limit here, believe it or not, but if you notice, I just got passed by a police officer on the right-hand side. So I'm gonna go ahead and no, I've got to scroll this up. It's just 35 on this road. I got cars stacking up behind me. I was passed by a police officer there. It's just not a safe speed to go here. And if you notice, here's our first speed limit sign that would have fixed it. This is the 45 that I should have been doing. And 45, honestly, is a little bit slow here too. So 2 interventions, but that one was a speed, and I probably would have let that one go had I not been passed by a police officer on the right-hand side. Interesting little dynamic there. Okay, we're coming up on the bridge, and this bridge is a very old bridge. It's been here a long time. It's kind of skinny. It's got these lanes with no shoulders. It's crossing the St. Johns River, and you can see that here on the map. This bridge speed limit is 45 also, and you can see now that the traffic kind of was okay going this speed. I am in the left lane, which isn't the best lane to be in when you're definitely going the speed limit, so it's camping out here a little bit. I'm going to avoid trying to get over in the right lane unless I start to get honked at or it gets really, really bad. Yeah, I'm getting passed pretty bad here on the right-hand side. So I either need to get in the right lane and deal with the slow speed, which I think is the intervention I'm going to go ahead and take here. So that was the third intervention, using the blinker to get over into the correct lane for the speed I was going with regards to the relative traffic. And you can see as soon as I did that, cars are just racing right by me. I don't know why the blinker just came on twice. I definitely don't want it to change lanes here, specifically because of the speed. This is Arlington Expressway, and the traffic is relatively slow here as far as speed limits, but you can see the traffic goes pretty quick in this left lane. Okay, if you're familiar with this part of town, I'm in the Regency Square area, and you know, the land of dead shopping malls, Regency Square over to the left-hand side. This is quite a dynamic intersection here. I am just basically going straight, so it shouldn't be much to deal with. But coming underneath the overpass behind me, getting in the correct lane if you were taking any of these others, this area of town is a very old part of town, but it doesn't look, I don't think it's going to have any problems specifically because we're going straight here. It doesn't have to do any lane changes. Now, hopefully it won't do any lane changes into an incorrect lane, and the planner's got it locked up. Okay, as we're getting a little closer here, this drive is going really, really good. All of the interventions I've had so far have all been speed related, zero disengagement so far. But as we get up towards the end of the destination, and I just typed in the destination of the new service center, I am noticing in 1.9 miles, it's got a U-turn mapped. So I really, really hope that we're not going to end the drive with a function that I haven't seen perform successfully yet. Now, granted, I do think the dynamics of U-turns right now is about road width and the ability of the planner to calculate the radius and feel comfortable in completing it, but I'm not sure. So looking at the map, it looks like it could just do a left turn, but it does use the symbology for a U-turn right there. I haven't been to this location yet, so I'm not exactly sure if that's the right decision or not. All right, it's got its blinker on. It wants to get over in the left-hand lane to follow the route. There is another Tesla up there. It's okay, it turned its blinker off. Not sure why it's not getting over. There's the new service center in the left-hand window. All right, it should be able to get over now. It needs to go aggressively though. Oh, look what it did. It missed its turn because of that car. So let's see what happens. All right, it's going to need to do a reroute here because we passed it, which isn't a bad scenario. Now, it's already rerouted, and it's going up to this traffic signal, which is fine, although I don't know that it's going to be able to do a U-turn at a traffic signal successfully. At that last, had it made that turn, it would have been a left unprotected turn across these 3 lanes of traffic here. Which I think it probably could have successfully done. So I think it missed its chance with a lazy lane change. If it had been a little bit more aggressive getting over earlier or in some of the gaps that were provided, I think it could have done it. So we do have a green arrow up here, and I don't think we're going to make it through this cycle. Oh yeah, this is a very short light, it looks like. So we're going to be sitting here for a bit. Well, I'm sitting here at the traffic light. I have noticed these routes are working, but I'm not getting the map overlay, you know, with all of the other roads here. I even tried to turn on the satellite. I do have LTE connectivity. You know, I can turn, you know, Wi-Fi doesn't matter in the car, but I do have an LTE. It says I got 4 bars. Okay, well, I got a little bit of a heat on my GoPro. After about a half an hour, sometimes that does happen. So I'm not sure if the end of this video is going to be quite as smooth or not, but I'll try to capture the good parts for you. Okay, after a long cycle, I am forcing this through a, yeah, I had to disengage there. It was not successful in the U-turn. I had a feeling that was gonna happen. I tried to force it with the accelerator just to do the intervention, but it was not an intervention-free drive or disengagement-free drive, mostly because it got itself in a situation where it needed to do a U-turn, and we just can't do U-turns yet. In some situations, you can press the accelerator and make it do one, but in this case, it did not. So I'm gonna go ahead and just re-engage here. This stoplight is extremely, extremely long, but we've got the green light here, and we do have a bike here that is jumping out in front of me, and that was unsafe for him. So anyway, we're wrapping up. It should just be a right turn here into the Tesla service center. But I had high hopes that it was going to be able to do it. But it got itself in a jam with a U-turn, and that's all she wrote. So anyway, this was a lot of fun. So we ended up with 4 interventions and 1 disengagement. And the intervention was to force the U-turn there at the end, and the disengagement was because it was unsuccessful and it was jittering around in the intersection. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Wonder who was right. In any case, have a great day, everybody.